CES 2025 has been an incredible showcase of groundbreaking innovations that are reshaping industries and setting the stage for the future. Joining me today is Chechitelli. She is Chief Product Officer at Turnitin to discuss how AI is transforming education. Annie, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So Annie, you were at CES previously this week, and you participated in a panel. So tell me about this panel and what you discussed.
Yeah, the panel was called Trust and Innovation with Generative AI, and it was made up of people from different industries, whether it's healthcare or consumer products, and how we're thinking about trust and transparency in the creation of our tools that utilize Gen AI, as well as how we think about how we're protecting customers in the future.
Now tell me, Annie, how has Gen AI impacted education in the past 2 years, and how is Turnitin addressing this?
Yeah, I would say ChatGPT has really upended education in a lot of ways. I like to break it down into 3 phases. So the first phase, at the end of 2023, was a lot of fear, right, around what's going to happen now that Gen AI writes so well. Will students do their homework anymore? Will they write essays? Can we still assign essays? So there was a lot of fear in those first few months. And once educators got over that and they began to realize the different opportunities that then presented itself with AI, thinking about how to capture it and use it to really make students and give students a new tool, they got really excited. Now we're kind of in this element of pragmatism. So now that we have it, what do we do? If we're going to embrace it, what does that mean? How much is too much? What are ways that students and teachers can work together to really harness this, but at the same time not affect academic integrity? So students are still learning, they're still learning all the skills they need, like critical thinking and analysis, and they're not using AI as a crutch, but they're using it as a tool.
And what would you say are the biggest misconceptions about AI in education?
I would say that there's a misconception that students aren't concerned about the effect of Gen AI on their own development and on academic integrity. I think we knew that teachers were concerned, that educators were concerned, but students really are too. They want to make sure they're utilizing the tools in such a way that they're not creating problems for themselves in the future, and they're not over-relying on it.
And how does Turnitin advise teachers currently navigating AI in the classroom?
Well, AI is not going anywhere, and it's already embedded in a lot of different tools. So the first thing we tell teachers is to make sure they're using it, or that they've at least tried it and played with it. We, a year ago, had a survey, and a third of college educators in the US still hadn't even played with it once. So it's really important that teachers start experimenting with these technologies. The second is they need to talk to their students about it. What do they expect? Those expectations are really important, and that helps relieve anxiety that students have around how much they can use it and what are ways to use it. My husband's a high school English teacher, and what he does is for every assignment, he prints out or he posts different versions that were done by ChatGPT, so they can see that, and it becomes part of the communication with the student around, hey, this is a base level that Gen AI can do. How can you do better? How can you add your own creative element and your own thinking beyond what AI can do with you?
And finally, Annie, tell me, how do you think the use of AI in education will continue to evolve?
I think that students and teachers are going to have more transparency so that they can figure out the best ways to use it. Right now, there's still this feeling that students don't want to tell the teachers when they're using it and how they're using it. They're afraid that's going to be a teacher gives a punitive reaction of don't use AI ever. But that collaboration is only going to strengthen how we learn these tools can be used for the development of students. So I think we're going to see a lot more of the teachers working with the student. I also think there's going to be a renewed focus on human writing and the broader purpose, right? Around what are the elements of writing? There's writing to communicate, but there's also writing to think, and really understanding the difference of writing and what type of writing it is and what you're trying to achieve with that writing. I think we're going to dive into that a little bit more as we figure out what are the elements of thinking that we need to maintain with students and what are elements we can outsource to tools like Gen AI.
All right. Well, Annie, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much.